DJ Mix for MMH, the home of rock radio. And today I'm joined by somebody I wasn't supposed to be interviewing, to be honest. But he's here today, Mr. Myke Gray. Dude, hello. How are you?
Well, we've just played, so we're slightly euphoric and relieved, you know, because obviously we were meant to play last year. It all got rolled over to the next year. In that time, you know, we haven't played a gig before. This is our first ever gig. We had Daniel Byrne from Revival Black singing with us. We've never played a concert with him. And so you walk out in front of 3,500 people. So it's kind of like, okay, it's now or never, do or die. But luckily we got a really great reaction, and the festival is amazing. It's my first time at the festival, and I've never been looked after so well at a festival in my life. And it's just an absolute honor to be here. Not only the organization, but the fans. It's just kind of like a perfect day. Wonderful.
It was. I mean, that was quite an impressive set list, to be honest. I don't think anyone was expecting what you were going to play. Quite a few of the Skin tracks, and the crowd was just kind of like very much on the edge with that. It was absolutely great.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very lucky with the bands that I've been in, like the people that have followed my music. They've been incredibly loyal over the years. You know, so we played Jagged Edge songs, and we played Red, White, and Blue songs, and Skin songs. You know, and I'm very lucky that I've got like a back catalogue like that I can sort of dip into. And it's always like the tough selection, which ones do we leave out and things like that. But you know, it's great to have the audience singing and joining in, and ultimately that's what it's all about. You know, that connection between the band and the audience. And you know, you always know that you've when the audience is singing, it just makes you feel so happy and relieved. You know, it's kind of like the reason we play music is for that to happen. So for it to happen on our first gig, beautiful. Thank you.
It's a solid warmth. I mean, the way you interact with your fans anyway, especially throwing a lot of the back material out there and giving it back to the fans as well, especially with the Jagged Edge, the Red, White and Blues, and especially the Skin material. It's absolutely great because the reception you get, you don't get it with a lot of rock stars, to be honest.
Well, I mean, ultimately for me, I know everyone sort of approaches music for different reasons, but for me, it's all about the fans. You know, it always has been. It's just about if I can write something which emotionally connects with somebody else, that's the reason I play music. Everything else I'm not really that bothered about. I can live without it, but just being able to write something and know that someone they'll connect with a lyric or they'll want to sing something back, to me that's it. Once that goes, then there's no real reason for me to keep playing music. But it's, you know, so that's why the live concerts are so precious, because you really get a chance to see if you manage to make that connection.
The response to Shades of Grey has been pretty good. You know, it's not I played it, a number of the stations have played it. What's your general thought of the warmth you received, especially from that particular release?
I mean, this was a big surprise, you know, because literally the entire project came about purely because I was sick to death with waiting for somebody else to finally decide to do music. So I just thought, okay, I'll do something myself, and I'll just sing it. And so I just did that one song, which was I Get Up, and I originally disguised myself in the videos so that people, you know, I honestly thought the song would be forgotten about incredibly quickly, and it could just be brushed under the carpet. So it was a big surprise when it got playlisted, and so then that was the catalyst to me making the whole album. But I'd never sung on record before. Obviously, I've always written the songs in the bands that I've been in, and I've had to show them to the singers, but when you're actually singing them yourself, it's different. And then, so after the success of I Get Up, then I thought, okay, I'll make a record. We were in lockdown, you know, so I wanted to make a very uplifting, happy record, because I just thought there was so much sadness and just despair, really. It just seemed everyone was so unhappy. So I thought, I'm going to make a record which is deliberately uplifting. No sad songs, no ballads. And I've always had a love of glam rock, whether it be the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s. You know, whether it be Twisted Sister, or Kiss, or Motley Crue, Alice Cooper. It was kind of like the stuff that I was always attracted to. But the bands I was in, like Skin and Red, White and Blues, and they would never have entertained those type of songs because they were much more blues based and and you always have to write for the singer. So I always wrote for the singer of the band, but with Shades of Grey, I was able to do all the stuff that I would write naturally by myself, you know. So and it's just been just a big surprise, really. Just like a really nice surprise because I just never thought when I started playing guitar at the age of 12 that I would ever sing a record. I always thought have a singer, you know. So it came very late in my life to do it. So it's been nice.
Well, it is a nice surprise. Will there be a follow-up album?
Well, I do have two projects I'm already working on, two very different musical projects. I would like to do another Shades of Grey record, but it would have to be because I think it would be better than the first one. You know, so I'm in a position where at my stage in life, it's all about the quality of the work. So I'm not someone who just makes records for the sake of it. It's because I believe there's a reason for the album to be made. So if I think I can write 10 songs which deserve to be recorded, then I'll give it a go. But my next projects are very different to Shades of Grey. You know, they're two very, very different projects.
Can you give us any insight onto those, or is it all a bit stum at the moment?
Well, I mean, one of them, it stems back to the thing is like, I deeply resent that my work is owned by record companies. You know, the fact that Jagged Edge albums and Skin albums, I have no control over them. And me as a person doesn't like that because I'm a control freak. You know, so the idea that someone can release a Skin album and the band get no money from it, and so what I'm intending to do is re-record all of the songs that have originally been given to record companies, so that I have ownership of my songs. So that's a big project. And then I have another project which is much more blues based. But I then also want to do another Shades of Grey. So I've got plenty to be getting on with. But the first thing is to re-record the albums that were lost to record companies. So I'm going to re-record the first Skin album, I'm going to re-record the second one, and so that I've got these recordings under my own name.
That's great. Well, you know, it's been nice to have you to have some control finally. But one thing I also want to touch on is like you've become a very happy man recently, haven't you?
I have. I mean, I'm generally, despite what people may say, I am generally quite a happy-go-lucky person. And I just I'm cursed with an explosive temper, which goes from being super happy to I want to kill you in a very short amount of time. But if you're referring to my marriage, yes, absolutely. I got married about 2.5 months ago now in the Bahamas, but because of the commitments to Stonedead and rock and blues, we were only together for about 4 weeks before I had to come back to the UK. And then on Tuesday, I hope to get back on the plane and go back and see my wife.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll look after him, and I'm quite pleased. But yeah, that's absolutely fantastic news, and congratulations to you both.
Thank you very much.
It's really good, but as I said, it is rather a throw-together interview, but it's absolutely fantastic to be here with him today. Mr. Myke Gray, thank you, dude.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all the support that MMH gives me. It's overwhelming over the years to have so many of the songs played on the radio, and it really means a great deal to me. So thank you very much, Steve.
A lot of love, dude.
Thank you, brother.